Hey, it's Mike over at fishyourassoff.com, and today what we're talking about is catching redfish with spinnerbaits. Spinnerbaits are one of those lures that people usually think about catching bass with, but most of these fish, just predatory fish in general. Well, first of all, spinnerbaits are great. So bass fishermen love them when the bass are feeding on little shad and stuff, right? So it's a shiny little white bait that the bass are feeding on. So obviously, if you cast something in there, it's got these little shiny, white bait, little shad-like blades on it. Well, it's something that's very attractive to bass, and they catch a lot of bass that way. So why wouldn't that work for redfish and trout and snook and all the other things that like to feed on little tiny shiny white baits? Well, we got pilchards, scaled sardines, we got all kinds of stuff that looks just like these gizzard shad and these other things that are in freshwater that bass are feeding on. So my point is, spinnerbaits work really well for a lot of saltwater species, and they're fun to fish. You can cover a lot of area with them. You cover a lot of water with them, and just something you might want to try. I've caught a lot of different species on spinnerbaits in salt water. Let's go ahead and check out what we're talking about here for redfish, because redfish are one of those baits that people have one of those fish that people have really accepted the fact that you can fish for them with spinnerbaits effectively, but you can really fish with them for a lot of different fish species. So it might be good to have one in there in your tackle box when nothing else is working. Might as well give it out there for a toss and just see what you can catch. But let's go ahead and look at the different kind of blades that you have on spinnerbaits. Just kind of, if you haven't fished with spinnerbaits before, maybe you're not a bass fisherman, you only salt water, there's some differences. So a Colorado blade is these roundish type blades that you have. And then there's the willow leaf blade, which is, looks like a willow leaf. All right, and there's pros and cons of each, but let's just go through the basics. As far as the Colorado goes, it gives out more vibration. So there's low frequency vibration that fish love, that attracts fish over and makes them want to eat stuff. They also, give it a little more lift, so you can actually fish these slower than you can fish a willow leaf. So these are better for real shallow water scenarios. You want it to be above the bottom and not getting hung up on stuff. So definitely better for a slow retrieve is the Colorado type of blades on your spinnerbait. And then the willow leaf side, they have the pros too. There's less vibration, so less of the fish's lateral line is involved, but they're moving faster. The blades are going faster in the water, so they create more flash, and you can also reel them through the water faster. So if you're going for fish that like a faster retrieve, I've caught a ton of bluefish on spinnerbaits. They like a real fast retrieve. It's a great bait for them. So basically, the bottom line is spinnerbaits work pretty well anytime there's small bait fish in the area. Pilchards, scaled sardines, whatever it is, if that's what the fish are feeding on, snook, trout, redfish, flounder, whatever, you can catch them on spinnerbaits. So you want to fish, around these same areas that you normally catch them with. So say you've tried everything else for the redfish that are hanging around these docks. Well, go ahead and throw a spinnerbait up there. You might just be the extra vibration that gets them to bite. Same with around oyster bars. They're going to be around oyster bars. I catch a lot of redfish in mangrove roots during the high tide. So get it right down the side of the line of mangrove trees or something like that. Bridge pilings, dock pilings, any underwater structure. Where the fish are most likely. They're going to be hanging out somewhere where there's probably structure and bait around, because that's really what they're looking for. But yeah, a lot of people just forget to use spinnerbaits in salt water for some reason. You just shouldn't. Redfish, trout, snook, flounder, bluefish, Spanish mackerel. Anyways, you can catch a lot of different saltwater fish with spinnerbait. So just have a couple in there and just do it. It's fun to fish with them anyways. But another thing I forgot to write up here. When it's clear water, just like the rules are with your colors of your soft plastic. So clear water, for whatever reason, white and chartreuse seems to work best. You know, like a sunny day, clear water, those are probably your best bets. Say it's cloudy, and let's say the water's a little dirtier, you know, something darker like a blue or a black spinnerbait, you know, it's probably going to work better. You know, this is how that works. I don't really know why. But do that. If the water's super muddy and gross, you know, like real muddy, where they're basically just going to have to feel their way through, the predator fish is going to have to feel their way through, then you're going to want something fluorescent. They have some fluorescent, like neon chartreuses and neon oranges and neon whatever, you know, like hot pink type things or whatever. That might be the way to go if the water's super, super muddy and dirty. I forgot to write that up there. But anyways, you can find more of this information right on our website. Just go to www.fishyourassoff.com. Everything you need to know about freshwater, saltwater fishing is going to be in there for the most part. And yeah, I think that's it for today. This is another one of those topics I wanted to cover. So until next time, we'll see you then. All right, bye-bye.